What's up everybody, Tiakum here with Sew Yeah Quilting. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how we make this snowflake quilt. But before we get started, I want everyone to realize that this right here is the quilt block. Every last one of these blocks are identically the same, so it's a super easy quilt, super fun. Let's get started. So let's go over the cutting dimensions for one block. Right here I've got 3 of my print pieces I'm going to call that are 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares. My background piece, there's 4 of them, 3.5 by 3.5. Then my 2 large squares here are both 5.5 by 5.5 inch squares. So let's jump right on into making the half square triangles. We're going to use a really simple method here where we're going to take right sides and put them together. And we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam all the way around 4 sides, and then we'll come back and cut them. So I'm going to take this over to the machine. Bam. And everything that we're using today will be a 1/4 inch seam. As you can see, I've sewn all the way around all 4 sides. Now it's time to cut this. And if you cut it in a certain way, it'll give us half square triangles. We're going to cut it diagonally on both sides. Just like this, corner to corner. Then I'm going to turn the other direction and cut it corner to corner. So I'm just cutting an X, essentially. Which this will give me 4 equal half square triangles. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these over to the ironing board and iron them completely flat to the dark side. Now that I've got these ironed out, to make one block we actually only need 2 half square triangles. So I'm going to take 2 and set them aside for my next block. And now it's time to square up our half square triangles. I'm going to just be using a square up tool. This is a block lock ruler. And so I'm going to square it up to 3.5 by 3.5. That way I just make sure everything's clean and square. That right there is a perfect 3.5 by 3.5 half square triangle. I'm going to do it to the other one now. So I'm cutting my 2 sides, making sure my edges are square here. So now it's time to assemble our block. There's not much to this block, but it makes an awesome quilt. So the first thing that we gotta do is we gotta take 3 of our background fabrics, squares, just like so, and we're gonna put them into this shape here. Then what we gotta do is we gotta put in our half square triangles, just like this. Then we're going to fill in the rest of the space here in the middle with our print is what I'm calling it, but our other color. And that right there is the quilt block. We're going to just take it row by row and sew them together, right sides. So I'm going to take my first row, right sides, open it up. I'm going to do all my ironing once I get all 3 of my rows sewn together. That's the first row complete, and we're going to just keep following along. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron everything, and I'm going to try to get as much as I can to the dark side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our right sides together, make sure we're putting our seams right on top of each other, and taking it on over to the sewing machine. First one sewn, and now we're going to sew on our bottom, which will complete our block here. And so that is what our finished block looks like. Lastly, to make sure this block is 100% finished off, I'm going to square it to be 9.5 by 9.5. So now that we have squared our block to be 9.5 by 9.5, I'm going to make a bunch more of these and we'll be right back. As I was assembling this quilt, I realized that it was going to be too hard to show you how to place each and every block. So what we went ahead and did was we made a pattern for this quilt. It's down in the description. It's a free download. That way you can get it exactly how this quilt looks. You can change up the pattern design if you so choose, but we want to make sure you can make the exact one that we have here. What I'm going to do though is show you what our finished product looks like. I absolutely love the way that this quilt has turned out, and it was a super easy project to make. What I'm going to do now is take this across the building to our in-house long armor to have it finished. If you've liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. My name's Tiank. I'm teaching you how to sew like a pro. We'll see you here next week at Sew Yeah Quilting.